Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through yoga. We will practice together for 45 minutes today. As we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any of the stretches that we work with do not work for your body, please skip them. You can come on out and you can modify. For your practice today, you'll want to have a mat to practice on. We will be doing a variety of seated, standing, and reclining stretches. So if you need to adjust your screen, please do so. And today's practice will be a wonderful practice for relaxing the mind and the body. We'll work on increasing flexibility, mobility, and strength throughout the whole body. To begin our practice, let's find our way into a child's position. So you'll be on your knees. If you would like, you can bring your knees together. That can help you to stretch out your low back. You could also take your big toes to touch and have your knees away from one another. And give yourself some nice deep breaths just to really settle into land on the mat today. Maybe as you exhale, feel your hips gently melt to the heels. Feel your heart gently melt to the mat. And then taking these deep breaths here. So we'll breathe, we'll feel that expansion through the low back, the mid back, the upper back. And of course, focusing on the inhale and exhale through your nose. If you would like, you can set an intention for class today. Intention may be that you'd like to take this time to relax, to give back to yourself. Maybe release tension that you're holding on to in the body. As you inhale, shift your torso forward, find your way to a tabletop position. We'll take some time to work with some earth salutations, which are very grounding salutations. So good for bringing in that relaxation and really nice full body stretch and strengthening. We'll start by rising onto the knees. Take a deep breath in, sweep your hands up. As you exhale, float hips to heels and heart will lower, coming back to a child's pose. Breathing in, let's come forward through the spine, tabletop, and then finding your way to a knee down plank position. Maybe gaze down to the hands, feel the fingers fan out nice and wide. We'll take a reverse push-up down to the ground. So let's lower down with control. Moving into Sphinx, glide your hands in front. Elbows are in line with your shoulders. Reach for opposite arms here, just to be sure that the fingers wrap around the outsides of the arms. Let's take some nice breath here. So we want to breathe into the low back. Feel free to stay here. If you would like more, hands can press down, elbows lift up, elbows can wrap in. So a low cobra pose here. And if you'd like a little more back bending, maybe straighten the arms, work with a seal pose. Lower yourself down to the ground. We'll take a full breath in, press back to down dog as you exhale. So in down dog, aiming to create an upside down V shape in your body. Take time to create a bit of movement here. It may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee. Maybe head shakes, Relaxes, yes. And head shakes and relaxes, no. As you find your way to stillness, gently lower your knees down to the mat. Hips to heels, heart will lower back to a child's pose. And then we'll rise onto the knees, full breath in, sweeping hands to sky. And then floating hands to the heart. So that was one earth salutation. Hands to sky, breathe in. Child's pose, breathe out. Make your way forward to a knee down plank position. Lowering with control. Arms are along the body as you come down. Let's take that reverse push up to the mat. Bring your arms behind your body. Fingers will interlock, palms touch, or square the wrists. Breathe in. Let's lift the legs. Let's lift the heart, holding your back bend here. As you breathe in, feel yourself lifting up, moving deeper into the back bend. And then as you exhale, feel how the body finds a little softness here. Lower yourself down to the ground. Take a full breath in, downward facing dog, press it back. Let's take an opportunity to rise onto the tippy toes in down dog. And then gently soften your heels to the right. Try to feel the weight even in both your hands. Back to center, we'll rise up. Heels soften left as you exhale. And just breathing into that really nice stretch through the side of the body. Back to center. And then soften the heels to the mat. Knees begin to lower. Hips to heels, heart will lower, child's pose. Rising up onto knees, big breath in. Floating hands to heart. Breathe out. That was two earth cells. Let's take a breath in, reach the hands up. Child's pose, release down. Engage the core into our knee down plank position. Elbows moving to the back of the room as you lower. Put the hands under your shoulders. We'll take the tips of the fingers in line with tops of shoulders and pinkies in line with the deltoids. Glue the tops of your feet down. Begin to peel your heart from the mat. Try to hug your elbows into the sides of your body. Elbows run straight back. Try to open through the chest and the heart. And try not to have a lot of weight in the hands. Really try to strengthen your mid back here. Press the tops of your feet down. You could always test. Make sure that the feet don't lift up as you lift the hands up if you'd like. Let's lower down. On your exhale, bring it back into down dog. Let's begin to walk our feet towards the outsides of our mat. So we'll just take a down dog with legs a little wider here. And to really get the sitting bones to reach the sky, feel free to bend into the knees. Try to scoop the sitting bones towards the sky, and then work on straightening out the legs here for a little different stretch. Feet walk in line with hips. Knees begin to soften. Hips to heels. Heart will lower. Child's pose. Rising up. Full breath in. Hands to sky. Hands to heart. On that exhale, let's take one more big breath in. Reach up, stretch up. On child's pose, let's bring it down. Floating forward into our knee down plank position. Moving from the core, we will lower down. And hands in line with the shoulders here. Walk your hands out to the sides of the room, maybe a foot on one side and the other side. You can be tented up on the fingertips, elbows point to sky, tops of feet press down. Feel free to lift as high as you would like. Now, if this is feeling challenging, you can walk your hands out further. That will make it a little easier. So out more towards the sides of the room. You can also keep a bend in the elbows. You don't have to straighten your arms. But if you did want that maximum stretch, you'll work on straightening the arms. And to make it more challenging, your hands will walk closer in towards the sides of your body. So you'll just shorten that space between the hands. Lower down to the mat. On that exhale, press firmly through your hands and your toes. Lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Let's take a down dog with the legs crossed. So our right foot will step in front of your left foot. And then we will line the toes up. We will line the heels up. And then gently bring the weight back into the heels. So just a little different stretch there on the legs. Unwind, traditional down dog. Left foot floats in front. Toes line up, heels line up. Weight back towards heels. Sitting bones reach up. Weight even in both hands. Nice. Let's reset. We'll float ourselves back to our traditional down dog. Bring your knees down to the mat. Hips to heels for a child's pose. Rising up onto knees. Full breath in, knee down mountain. Floating hands to heart as you exhale. Great job on those. Such a nice warm up. We're going to work with a plank on the forearms. So let's come down onto our elbows. Reach for opposite arms, then float the hands out in front. Fingers interlock, palms touch, or press your hands into the mat. Walk your toes back. Have your toes curled under. And then find your way into your plank here. If this feels very challenging, you can always lower your knees down to the mat for a bit of support. Create a tuck in the tailbone. So really try to lengthen your low back. Try to lengthen the back of your neck. Try to reach and stretch through the crown of the head. Feel that strong foundation through the forearms into the ground. Lift from the shoulders, find length and space here. Stay with your breathing. So we want to focus on that inhale through nose, exhale through the nose. Few more breaths, so stay here. If you'd like a little more challenge, maybe lift that right leg up, free-limbed dolphin plank. And then reset back to plank, left leg lift. Maybe gently roll that left hip down. Reset. Knees begin to lower. Toes curl under. Sit back to heels. And we'll work with a toe stand here. Hands float to sides of body. If you'd like to try for a balance, you can pop up onto your toes. Maybe one hand to prayer at heart. The other hand will meet it. Try to find a spot to focus on, one spot that's not moving, one spot to focus, concentration, and awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eye shift at all. Let's begin to release. We'll come forward to tabletop. Tap the tops of your feet out. Lift to your down dog as you exhale. Let's begin to sweep our right leg to the sky, three-limb dog. We'll bring right knee to right tricep, tap and float through. Three-limb dog. Bring knee to nose, round and crunch. Up and back. Right knee, left tricep, cross it over. Up and back. Step your foot through and rise to a crescent warrior. Hands will sweep to the sky. Keep your left heel lifted. Try to stay very active through your back leg. We'll take the arms alongside the body, palms face forward, working with a variation of a flying crescent warrior. Keep your left toes connected. Begin to take your torso forward a little bit here. Let's gently roll that left hip back down, left shoulder down slightly, just to create a little balance in the body. Springing off your left foot, let's come to warrior three position. And then in warrior three, try not to crank the head here. So just a nice neutral gaze, gaze down to the ground. Try to lengthen the back of your neck. Reach and stretch through the crown of your head. We'll release to warrior one from here. Left foot back, left heel lowers, hands reach up towards the sky. Try to feel your shoulders gently relax away from your ears. We'll create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down the back body. Fingers will interlock. Release the index fingers for steeple hands. Breath to lengthen. Soften hands back. We'll work through a little back bend here. Try to open through the chest and the heart. Try to relax your shoulders back and down. Reset to warrior one. Hands to the earth. Runner's lunge. Straighten that right leg and just fold over the leg for a moment. So you want to be on the toes of your left foot. Have your left heel lifted. Nice activation through the left leg. Let's bend into our right knee. We'll take right hand to sky for a runner's twist. Try to breathe into the twist for your stomach, your ribs, your chest. Release. We'll take it back to a runner's lunge. Find your way into plank. High push-up pose. Knees up or down, your preference. We'll hold an up dog here. So let's lower with control. Upward facing dog. Gaze off your right shoulder. So sometimes this can give a little deeper stretch in the front of the hip. Reset to up dog. Gaze left. And reset. Exhale, toes curl under, hips float up, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, three-limb dog. Left knee, left tricep, tap. Send it up and back. Let's bring knee to nose, round and crunch. Up and back. Left knee, right tricep. Up, back. Step it through. Crescent. We'll rise up with the breath. So focus on breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. We want to avoid mouth breathing in yoga. Helps to deactivate the fight or flight response. Lets your body and mind know everything's okay. Arms along body, palms face forward. Zip through the core. Torso comes forward slightly. Flying crescent warrior position. So sensation of tucking the tailbone. Navel back up to spine slightly. Spring off the right foot. Warrior three pose. And warrior three, lots of options with the hands on this one. You could always keep hands up for at heart, maybe arms alongside the body, palms face down. Maybe reach, stretch the hands out in front of you. Warrior one, right foot back, right heel lowers, hands reach up. Can you relax your shoulders away from the ears? Can you create that space between the ears and the shoulders? Moving into steeple through the hands. Lengthen spine. Hands relax back. Try to open the chest and the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. And release. Let's take ourselves back through warrior one. Hands to the earth. Let's take it to a runner's lunge. Left leg straightens, runner's stretch. If you're interested in a deeper stretch, bring more weight into your left foot, helping to lift the left hip up, helping to balance off through the hips and balance off through the low back. Left knee bends, left hand lifts. Let's take a twist. And then as you twist here, feel that nice stacking and opening of the shoulders. Shine the heart up towards the sky. Let's reset to runner's lunge. Find your way back into plank. High push-up pose. Knees up or down, your preference. Let's hold that up dog one last time. So we'll lower down chaturanga. Up dog, gaze off your left shoulder. Look back for your left toes. Come back to center, gaze off right side. And back to center. Toes curl under, hips float up, downward facing dog. Lowering the knees to the mat, onto the elbows, setting up for a dolphin pose. Reach for opposite arms here, hands out in front, fingers interlock, palms touch, or pressing hands into the mat. Toes curl under, hips float up. Very similar to our down dog, but on the forearms. If you would like to experience more challenge, you can walk your toes towards your face. To make it a little easier, you can walk your toes away from your face. For more sensation, try to press your chest and your stomach towards the fronts of your legs. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. Feel free to hold it or maybe lift your right leg up. 3-limb dolphin. Reset to dolphin. Left leg lifts. Stay with your breath. Breathe in and out deeply. Reset to dolphin. Knees will lower. Hips to heels. Child's pose. Exhale here. Maybe do a gentle scan of your body. And just noticing where you're holding on to tension. And then letting that tension go as you exhale. Let's begin to make our way into a downward facing dog. Bring your right leg up to the sky, 3-limb dog. Bring your knee into your nose, round and stretch. Send it up and back. Exhale, round, up and back. Let's take that one more time. Nice big crunch. Up and back. And then nice step through. Let's take it to runner's lunge to start. We will walk our hands to the left. We'll pause in a wide-legged forward fold. Feel free to create a little movement here. Maybe bend one knee and the other. Maybe head shakes yes, and head shakes no. We will transition towards goddess. So toes turn out, heel shift in. Feel free to bend into the knees. Arms float up for 90-degree angle. Give a tuck of the tailbone to lengthen your low back. Transitioning to a crescent warrior towards the front of the mat. So we'll just gently spin on the feet a little bit. That right foot and left foot turn in. Then we'll transition onto the toes of the back foot. Let the back heel be lifted. Allow for shoulders and hips to square forward. On your exhale, warrior two, let's open up. Let's try to feel shoulders over hips. Activation through arms and hands. Reverse, front hand floats up and back. Feel the palm of the right hand face down. Gentle rotation through the shoulder. Core engages, right arm, right leg, left arm up. Maybe lower the hand down for a little more stretch, extended lateral angle. And just trying not to collapse here into the bottom shoulder, a little bit of lengthening and a little bit of lifting here. Let's begin to rise up. We'll reset to warrior two position. Let's windmill the hands down. Bring yourself to a runner's lunge. Step yourself to plank. High push-up pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Up dog. Let's breathe into our mid-back bend. Down dog, exhale. Left leg, float it to the sky. We'll bring knee to nose. Go for your crunch. Send the leg up and back. Exhale, round. Up and back. One more time here. Round and crunch. And then we'll extend back. Three-limb dog. Big step forward. Runner's lunge to start. And then we'll transition to our goddess pose. So toes turn out, heels shift in, bend through the knees, arms float up, tailbone will tuck here. Moving into crescent towards the top of the mat, so just a little shift on the feet. Spinning onto the toes of your right foot. Right heel is lifted. Deep inhales and exhales through your nose. On that exhale, let's take it to warrior two. Activation through arms, reach forward, reach back. Reverse, front hand up and back. Imagine you could create some space between the ribs as you breathe here. Warrior two, reset. Let's take left arm, left leg, lateral angle, and maybe extended lateral angle. Create a little twist sensation here, bottom shoulder under, top shoulder open, heart shines up towards the sky. Rising up, warrior two. Let's windmill the hands down. We'll bring it to runner's lunge. Fold forward at the top of your mat. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and then mountain for rise. Floating hands to heart as you exhale. So we'll take an opportunity to bring our right knee into our chest and into the stomach. Fingers will interlock. And option to stay here. You can roll open off towards the right. And then you can also take the knee through center and do a twist. If this is feeling a little easy and you'd like a little challenge, you could try to reach for the big toe on the right foot. So your middle finger and your index finger and thumb can wrap around the big toe. Find your place to focus on first. And then if you'd like, you could straighten the leg out in front of you. Try to find a spot that's not moving. Feel free to stay here. If you would like, you could take your right foot to the right. You could open it up. Maybe left hand to the left. Maybe a little mudra through the hands for the pad of the index and thumb touch. We can bring ourselves back to center. You could change up through the hands here, change up through the foot, and then we're just going to take a little twist. Maybe that mudra in the right hand, gazing off the right fingertips, getting a little bit more stretch here. We can reset through center. Let's give it a little shake out. Feet a little wider than hips. Arms sweep side to side, empty coat sleeves, arms relax. And then as you twist to the right, just feeling that left heel lift so that your toes track in line with your knee. Let's bring ourselves to stillness here. We'll try the other side. So again, feel free to bring the knee in. You could take this one at your own pace. Option to open, option to cross. If you wanted to build on that, maybe reach for the big toe. Option to straighten out that leg to start. Try to feel nice and grounded in that right foot. Press through the inside and outside of each foot. You can stay here, maybe open off to the side of the room. Maybe challenge the balance by gazing off the right fingertip. And then if you wanted a little more challenge, you can change up the grip through the hands. A little bit of a twist here. Just kicking that left foot off to the right. And then maybe gazing off left fingertips. Roll the left hip down slightly. Let's release. We'll take it back to center. Feet out a bit wider than hips. Arms sweep side to side. Empty coat sleeves. Reset here. Nice job. I know that one's not very easy, but that'd be fun to try something we haven't done in a long time. Let's bring ourselves to stillness here. We'll find our way to the top of the mat. Full breath in, hands sweep up. Fold yourself down on your exhale. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Lifting the hands back into plank. High push-up pose. Lowering down, chaturanga, dandasana. Up dog, breathe into your upper back bend, and then finding your way to down dog as you exhale. Let's begin to lower the knees to mat, hips to heels, heart lowers for a child's pose. And then just that gentle scan of the body. Notice where you're holding on to tension. And then let that tension go as you exhale. Bring yourself up, tabletop. Sweep your feet to the right or to the left. We'll bring it down into seated. Legs will extend out in front. Flex your feet. Press through the heels, backs of knees. Spine is straight. Hold length through the spine and gently soften down as you exhale here. Maybe a little gentle movement of the head, a little rock. You can also take stillness too if you'd like. Maybe try to relax. through the eyebrows, relax through the jaw. Try to relax through the back of the head, back of neck. Relaxing through shoulders, arms, and hands. And softening upper, mid, and low back. And then relaxing through legs, relaxing through feet. Let's gently come out of the stretch for a moment. So a nice big inhale. Let's come on up. We will lift and lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, let's see if we can go a little bit deeper here. Maybe you can stretch a little further, or you can soften into the stretch a little deeper. Let's try that again. Nice big inhale, lift up, find length, biggest expression so far. And then we'll soften. Maybe we can go just a little bit deeper here. We'll try that one more time. Full breath in, expansion through the body. And then on that exhale, releasing all of the air and just letting yourself melt down. Rolling up through the spine, gently releasing the pose. Find your way onto your back. Bring your left leg up and in. We'll work with a half happy baby stretch. So you will flex your foot. You will reach through your heel. Maybe straighten out your right leg. In time, aiming for a 90-degree angle in that left leg. Breathe into the stretch for the hips. Breathe into the stretch for the low back. And just feeling that left leg flex, so nice activation through your foot. Aiming for that 90-degree angle in the left leg. And we will release. Plant that left foot down. Right leg lifts. Flex the foot. Straighten out your left leg. Breathing in and out here. So our half happy baby, such a nice pose for the hips and the legs, the low back. And release. Float your feet to the edges of your mat. Let your knees be bent. Gently draw your knees to the left and to the right. Nice, gentle release here on the low back. As you bring yourself to stillness, transitioning into Shavasana, we'll take some relaxation time here. So legs can relax, arms can relax. Take time to close the eyes. Give yourself time to integrate the positive benefits of our practice. into our minds, into our body. Moment to gently notice how you feel in the moment. Take time to notice the effects of yoga. Feel the relaxation in the mind. Feel the calmness in your body. Feel the connection of the mind, body together as one. Roll to your favorite side, fetal position. Bring yourself to seated when you're ready. Feel free to relax your hands on your legs or draw your hands into the heart in prayer. Take a moment to thank yourself for practicing yoga today, for doing something so good for your mind, so good for your body. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed today's practice. If you have any comments or questions or feedback, please leave them in the chat. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. I will be back 5:30 East Coast time for Pilates. We do 30-minute Pilates practice. I'm also here on Mondays a little earlier, so 3 o'clock East Coast time. We do mindful stretch for 15 minutes if you want to give that a try. Otherwise, I'll see you next week at this time. Have a blissful day today, and I will see you next time. Take care.